Oh, let me pull up the Discord. Why is okay? Perfect. So, welcome back to the EsportsReports podcast, episode 3. Changing it up a little. I've got my face in a different corner, kind of throwing me off. Okay, but first things first. I mean, it's all about Corona. You know, there's no toilet paper at the store.
Gah.
There's no toilet paper at the store. No alcohol. No spaghetti sauce, no ramen.
No
crazy.
Germex. Paper towels, man.
No paper towels. That's so
Dude,
true.
I looked for freaking pinto beans, and there's none of those.
It's crazy, man. I was out there, and I was like, well, I need, like, it's like you need all these things to make a meal, and then it's like, it's not all missing, but, like, one thing from every meal is gone.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
It's insane. It's insane. You gotta kind of go to
the HEB. The HEB by my house closed because like there were so many people in there, and like people started getting in fights and stuff, and so they closed the HEB and they're gonna reopen it later on, and then they're gonna have a bunch of police officers there as security.
Okay, I want to make sure I'm recording. That's crazy. They're freaking having fights at HEB. It's not even that. I mean, I don't feel like it's so serious where we need to go hoard like items, things like
dude.
towels and stuff.
We don't need to get ready for our doomsday bunkers yet. Like, we're not about to be stashed away for like, somebody told me that I don't know if you watched President Trump's address to the public today.
Okay,
but he basically just said that we're in a state of emergency.
Okay.
And before he was going on, like, he tweeted out, he was like, hey, we're talking at 3, blah, blah. And so I was like, all right, they're going to talk at 2. And then I had like 2 people text me and be like, hey, he's about to say that we all have to self-quarantine ourselves for 2 weeks. I was like, what? Like, who's going to regulate that?
Police, what, they just, hey, go back in.
It's just everybody patrolling all the neighborhoods. Somebody tries to leave the house, it's like, nope, go back.
So what is has anything like, I mean, I don't have sport. Essentially, I don't have work for the next 2 weeks after this week. This week was spring break. So I canceled school for the next 2 weeks, so I don't have work. What about you? Are you still got work every?
Dude, when it comes to me for work, so a lot of what I do is I go to like families or businesses and stuff like that. So a lot of the people that I go to see kind of don't want to talk to me because they're like, oh, this random dude, he has the corona, he's gonna kill us all, like, he's got to get out of here, he's got to go.
Okay.
And like I literally I called somebody, I was like, hey, is it still good that we're meeting today? And they're like, no, call me back when the corona stuff blows over. I'm like, dude, you're losing me money.
That's crazy. That sucks. Great. That's what they were. I was watching ESPN eSports, and they were kind of saying that about, I guess, like, journalists who, I guess, travel to events that are kind of getting canceled, and they're like, well, now it's hard for them to make a living. So it's it's crazy. I mean, I'm thinking about, like, dude, like, right now, like, my thing is kind of like, yo, I'm probably gonna have to do something else, and like if I was trying to find a job, like, I wonder how, like, our place is looking to hire right now with all this.
Yeah, dude, I had an interview on Tuesday, and they were like, we should get back to you. Like, you should know by Thursday. And then, like, today rolled around, and I, like, hadn't heard from them. And so I shot them an email real quick. I was like, hey, like, I was just curious. And then they're like, oh, yeah, so because of Corona, we're actually not, like, going to work right now. And so we're going to have to get back to you about this job at a later time. And I was like,
that sucks.
So,
okay.
Dude, it's sketchy.
It's crazy, but I mean, it's crazy that the worldwide impact that coronavirus is now having.
For real, dude.
I mean, if we're gonna transition now into the Call of Duty League, you know, it's already swapped the whole league to online play, so that's It's going to be interesting, I guess, how that shakes up. I feel like my only issue with online play is I feel like the issue with, like, so-and-so got disconnected. And then you have issues like that, like, someone was like, just, I feel like it's more room for error. And you don't get
I agree 100%.
Like, you don't get a true idea of, I guess, it doesn't feel as professional online, so I guess you don't get the aspect of performing in front of people as like on your nerves. Like I feel like that's a big part. Like if you can conquer your nerves and be a pro, that's part of being a pro.
Yeah.
But
I think the big thing for like me when I think about it is the fact that obviously if you're on LAN, you have zero ping. Like there is no delay between you pressing something in the game. Well, unless you have like nutty Wi-Fi and you're living like literally directly next to the tower that provides it, like you're gonna have some sort of ping. And so that starts to go to the fact that like somebody turns a corner and they're behind a wall, and you know those times where you're behind the wall and you still die.
Oh yeah.
Like if that happens in pro play, dude, you're gonna see some of them lose their shit real quick.
It's gonna be weird, but we'll see. I mean, I feel like they could at least. I wonder what like. I feel like after the first event we'll kind of know, and I wonder how much they're gonna change. Like, okay, well let's try to get them. You know, at least. I feel like the players. I like the idea of empty audiences more than I like the idea of online play.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. They're now it's like, well, it's risk on the workers, and I'm like, oh man, but like, I don't know. That's just my thing. Like, I like the idea of, I don't know, watching them play somewhere that's not like being able to see them physically.
Yeah,
makes it more interesting.
You see, I agree. Like, if they all went to the same spot, like they still held the tournaments. Or even not in the same places, but they still held the tournaments somewhere, and just it was only players. Like there was no audience to it. I still think that'd be better, like experience. But at the same time, I don't even think they're worried about like players getting the virus and then affecting other players. I think at that point it just comes down to money. Like, hey, is it worth it to go to this venue and like actually put money into this whenever we don't have to do that because we're not going to make too much money off of it anyways, because nobody's going to buy tickets, nobody's going to go.
I mean, yeah, but then I'm kind of thinking on like, okay, so like the Empire has like a whole facility downtown, so like you could potentially bring in 8 teams of 5 people each, 6, so that's like essentially around 70 people. We'll say 70 people. There's probably more, but no more than you would think 100. It's like needed personnel, and then you could manage and sort of have like, I guess run it like an AM event, how AMs would look.
Yeah.
But that's just, it'll be interesting.
You think everybody would have to bring their own stuff, like their own freaking wipes and everything? Because nobody can find Clorox wipes. Like, it's not like they're special treatment because they're having an event. Like, if they go to like wipe down all their shit, it's like, oh, we can only do this 10 times because we only have 10 wipes left because we can't find any.
See, honestly, Overwatch League its first year had issues with players getting sick because, they would constantly switch and sit in the same spot.
Yeah.
And so they had a big Germex thing. But it makes you, like, here's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like, okay, so the stores ran out of paper towels. Are they getting more tomorrow? Are they getting more next week? Like, what's the turnaround on all that? So, like, because obviously we're not going to be, it's not like for the next 3 months you're going to go to the store and there's not going to be paper towels. I don't think.
Yeah.
If that starts to happen, then at some point you probably will need paper towels and you won't be able to get them.
Yeah. In the address today with Trump, I was watching it, and like they got to the question segments, and it's Trump and then this board of a bunch of like pharmaceutical CEOs and like a bunch of like medical just a bunch of really important people when it comes to this kind of stuff. And some guy goes up there and asks, he's like, so there's no toilet paper or paper towels? Like, when's that going to be back? I'm like, 1, who the hell up there is going to know this? And 2, there's some guy that walks up, he's like, we're not directly affecting this, but we have been in contact with like the market advisors and the supply chains and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, and they're trying to get on top of it, but it's not like they have any kind of reserves for in case something like this happens. Like, it's not like they got a bunch of shitter paper somewhere. Like,
yeah, no,
so I guess it's just as fast as they can produce it.
I feel like you would think toilet paper companies would want to take advantage of this, but then maybe they're like, well, we can't put our people to work because, like, you don't know.
That's fair, dude. You can't stick like 300 people in a plant and be like, hey, they need their toilet paper and paper towels, so you gotta work. And if you get it, then you're infecting all of the toilet paper and paper towels that we're giving to people.
In my mind, the point of where I'm concerned, I'm physically, like, I have real concerns, is when they tell everyone to, like, when everyday jobs, I guess, are shut down to some extent, like, where it's, hey, don't go out, like, but I don't think we'll ever get to that. I don't think we'll get to Walmart's closed. You can't even go anywhere and get stuff because it's all closed. Like, that's
true.
Like apocalypse type. That's almost apocalypse, and then you have looting. Like, I mean, someone needs some shit, and they will go and break into an empty Walmart to try to get shit. So it's crazy,
dude. So big question: if you run out of toilet paper, what are you gonna do?
Oh, I think I was talking about this. I say, so once all the toilet paper runs out, everyone goes to Walmart and they buy socks and laundry detergent.
So you're gonna rewash your shitter paper?
I mean, dude, how many times? Like,
dude, there's no laundry detergent though either.
Like, dude, then it's fucked. Like, but that's my only thought. That's something.
Just go open the window, pull your hose in from outside, spray it down, like.
No,
or take a shower after every single time.
Oh, that's someone said they were talking about how Nick Merckx talked about a bidet, and he was like, dude, he's like, get one of those. He's like 2,000 IQ right there. Like, I don't need toilet paper no more. Fucking get your asshole cleaned.
God dang, dude, my mom was talking to me and she was like, yeah, so if that does happen, we're gonna go to napkins that I have a bunch, because my mom has like a billion napkins. And I was like, oh. And then she was like, and if we get past that, we're gonna go to a bunch of rags and old T-shirts. We're just gonna throw them away. And if we get past that, then I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, no. Oh.
Dude, constant showers has gotta be.
That's not the worst one.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's move on. Let's move
back
on
to esports. Back to esports.
Back to Call of Duty. It's all online now, but I mean, they're saying on Twitter it's FaZe and Empire now with online play, but when I'm ranking out my top 5, there is a little change. I originally would have put Minnesota at number 3, but I think with the new change, I will go Atlanta FaZe, Chicago Huntsmen, Empire, Rocker, and then I'm going to put Mutineers. Right here on the standings it says Legion, but I would put Mutineers above them. So, just based off they've made a final, no one else has made a final.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's funny because you say like last event holds a lot of weight, but then it's like now it's like with the online play, this next event holds so much more weight than all the other events because it's totally, I guess, new, essentially new.
Yeah.
But
so like before this shit went online, they had how many weeks left? They had quite a few weeks left, right?
Just overall games.
Yeah.
They've only made they've had 3 events, like 4 total events, and now they've changed it in online to where it says, it doesn't even say any events anymore. It says upcoming competitions to be announced.
Shit, dude.
So okay.
Do you think they're gonna see how like this online one goes and then decide if they just want to cancel this thing like in its entirety?
Oh, I hate that idea, but I think
that's a ton of money to waste. A ton of money to blow away.
You gotta think they have already, like, I mean, okay, here's the thing. It's like in a first-year league, you cancel all the events. You basically like chalk up the year to 4 things, and then it's like, how do we tell people? Well, I guess everyone lost a lot of money. Like, a lot of people are gonna lose a lot of money this year across everything, across a lot of things. Like,
yeah,
if you have a lot of money, you're probably losing a good portion of it.
For sure.
Just if you're investing in any entertainment. It almost seems
Like, if FaZe loses money, they're going to be okay. It's fucking FaZe. But if somebody like Los Angeles Gorillas or like Toronto Ultra, who I don't think have any other teams in any other kind of esports or anything like that, like they have no financial base. If they just lose a bunch of money off of this year, like,
yeah,
are they just kind of screwed for the next year? You can't pay players anymore. You can't pay to go to events or anything like that.
it's
Like,
I mean, I guess here's kind of what you say. It's like, how much was the least amount of money a team was supposed to like make, and then how much are they actually going to make, and then like, how big of a difference is that? Like, are they going to be millions of dollars behind on what they thought they were going to have? And then how does it like so this kind of screwed up this year. This is essentially screwed up this year to some degree. And then how is this going to play? Like, it creates I don't think every year we're going to have a disease like this, but now it's like decadely. Like, essentially every other decade we might have something come up where if now it could reach this level of seriousness where it can ruin things. So I don't know, like, if the Call of Duty League folds in 3 years or 2 years after the YouTube deal, how much would we attribute to coronavirus being the cause?
dude, a shit ton. Like, the whole thing. Like,
it could, like, well, coronavirus tanked the whole first season, so then, you know, it looked like it really had potential growing, and then you switch to online, and then it just never comes back to what you thought it could be.
Yeah. Do you think that all right, so obviously they're going online, and say after this tournament, like, all the good teams start playing like shit, do you think players are going to, one, be vocal about it, and then two, do you think that if it like continues and they keep being shittier and shittier, that some of the players are just going to be like, hey, I'm not going to play, like, it's not on LAN, it's a waste of my time, it's making me look bad?
I think I could definitely see that. I could definitely see players using, like, having poor performances and then using online, I guess, either as their excuse or as a cop-out, whichever one you want to say. Like, you could point it at different players, like, okay, well, he lost a round 11 search and destroy 1v1, whereas this guy's just been trash all event, so he's using it as like a total cop-out, and this dude's like, hey, this is my excuse for losing that. And, you know, maybe I feel like it'll be interesting to see how many players, how much, like, they'll be, okay, first event, you're excited to play. So if their first event, you know, maybe they'll all be excited to play again. And then, you know, it'll be interesting to see how it moves forward, and if they, like, if more anger comes out of players because of how it's set up, or if they've kind of just accepted it and they're, like, because that really is what it all needs to come down to. You just got to accept it, you know.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it.
Hope this isn't your one shot, and that your one shot isn't screwed because of this. But
you see, I think that, like, going through this year, say some people don't perform well, like it stays online and stuff like that, I don't think that you can take into account for that next year. Like, if you're the coach of like Huntsman or something like that, and one of your players plays bad, and then you're like, oh, we got to cut them, like, they suck. Like, I don't think you can take this year into account. Like, this is almost just like a practice run.
Here's kind of like, I think the great ending to all this is to end with the grand, like, the World Championship event be on LAN. I think like, no matter what, if it all comes around and we put the final event on LAN, we can say this was a good season. No matter what.
Yeah, that's true.
It had a good ending, you know. If we can have two more events on LAN before the season ends, that would be ideal. I think that's like, everyone would feel like, okay, well, at least we got to do that.
Yeah, man. So,
I don't know.
Did you already say that your power rankings for COD?
I put my top 5. I said, so my top 5 is basically Florida over pairs. So Florida rounds out the top 5.
Okay.
But it's true to standings. So FaZe, Huntsman, Empire, Rocker.
Are you giving up on Optic?
I put Optic as my number 6.
Okay.
And my reasoning for that is because they did beat Rocker. But I think Rocker is going to be a team that doesn't. I think online hurts. If I was going to put any team being hurt the most by switching to online, I put it as Rocker.
Yeah, nobody has Wi-Fi in Minnesota. Shit sucks.
I think they're a team that like being there, like they're ready every time, and they have like I don't know whatever it is they do outside of the game. I think that's their key. Like that has been a big factor in their success.
They definitely get like momentum in tournaments. Like you can like physically see it kind of thing whenever they're playing. And so I can definitely see that taking a factor as in like they don't get to have that like I don't know what to call that. Like they just don't have that quality anymore. Like if they're all sitting there, even if they're all in the same room playing the same game, like there's nobody that they can turn to and be like, you can't fucking beat us, blah, blah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like they're the shit talking group like online and any of that. So I feel like the online hype that some teams get, like, oh yeah, like we love, like, I don't know. I just I don't have like I had a lot of confidence with them going forward after the event, but now with everything switching online and everything else, I still put them in top 5, but I put them. I think online makes Dallas elite and Minnesota not elite.
Okay. So for my power rankings, I think that like obviously, I think FaZe is going to stay on top. I could see them almost like if they do have a couple bad games like this next one, if they try to blame it all on being online, then I see them going downhill from there. But we'll see. But I got FaZe on top, Huntsman, Empire, Rocker, and this, for my 5th place, I'm gonna put Optic, dude.
Okay.
I've been shitting on Optic all year, but like they had a good tourney.
Whoever that was.
Awesome.
Let me check.
Yeah, they had a good tourney, but like.
And Checksmate.
It's Trey and Chris, lovely guys.
Oh, ass flexion. Whoa. I hate you. Look at your chat. Sorry, bro. Okay.
I don't even have the chat open, man.
Look at chat. I feel like chat's getting on you. Hopefully.
Oh, God. How the hell?
Okay. Damn, chat's lit.
I don't even have the chat open. I don't know how to open the chat.
Go to open up Twitch. Open up a Twitch in another tab, and then follow the chat in Twitch.
Okay.
But so let's just So you put Optic over them.
Oh, yeah, I got Optic over them, and like the reason I'm putting Optic over them is because they had a good tournament last season. I think they like still want to kind of prove themselves, and in the end, it's Optic Gaming, and Optic Gaming has a lot of money, and they're in LA, and so I think them going online. I think like how everybody thinks Empire is going to do better. I think it's the same thing for Optic. They're just being overshadowed because they've been so shitty in the past.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
So you have them at 5 from 8 to 5?
Yeah, I have them at 5.
Okay, where do you put Florida then? Are you putting Florida?
Florida? Dude, oh God. Let's go. All right, I put Florida 6.
You realize, I mean, you put a team that has won twice as the best team. That's insane. Okay.
Oh yeah. Dude, they're gonna kill it.
I mean, considering it's crazy. Okay, but clearly, who's your worst? Are you putting who do you think's the worst?
All right, I have the worst. Definitely subliners are trash.
Subline, I have come to the conclusion when I ran through it all, I was like, dude, they have only won one. They have won one map, is what I think they have won in 7 games. They have had 8 map wins. So
Why do they think it looks steamy in my room? What the hell is that, Fletch?
It's your room has a weird look to it. I won't lie.
Corey, you can't agree with this shit.
I don't know. You got it like kind of creepy. You got just the one lamp.
What do you want me to do? Turn on some lamp?
Well, okay. In the other corner.
All I got over here is a bed. It's literally a window and a bed, and that's it. So I thought it'd
darkness though.
Chill like this.
Okay.
And I broke my damn lights. My lights that normally go over there that kind of lighted it up. They broke.
Let me open up Twitch chat. Let me
Yeah,
Damn,
but subliners are the worst. Easily the worst team out there. Like,
shout out to everyone. Shout out to Ash Fletchum. Hotline League copycats. It does look steamy.
what is Hotline League?
Okay. I feel like I'm kind of good on. I mean, we can go through the rest of these teams, but.
Chris, you got that shit right. That's where the magic happens. Nobody needs to see that.
It's crazy, man. Okay, you want to jump into League? I feel like
let's jump into League of Legends, dude.
Okay, Nathan. So, and we'll even ask the chat. We'll see what chat thinks. But
they'll definitely have something to say about League.
Okay, I mean, European League canceled. I guess you would think if they were going to cancel LCS, they would cancel it already, and they wouldn't wait until the morning of, or until.
There's no way.
So, I hope they play. I mean, it'll be a letdown. Things getting canceled is way more depressing than things being delayed.
Yeah. I mean, even if it goes like, okay, it's too late to be like, oh, we're just going to play online.
Okay.
Dude, I can't get this to stay. But, so, like, at this point, they kind of just have to play because you're right. Like, them delaying it from here would be just shitty. Nobody's going to watch it.
That's very true. I mean, I don't know. League has a great following, so.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, what do you got happening this week, Nathan?
This week.
Oh man, it could be a good week, but it could be a boring week. Will 100 Thieves win either of their games? Are they going to they play C9 and FlyQuest, both who lost last week to TSM? Is 100 Thieves as good as TSM, or even half as good?
Okay, 100 Thieves is not as good as TSM. I think C9 is going to freaking destroy them, but I think they'll beat FlyQuest.
You think they'll beat FlyQuest?
FlyQuest, they didn't have a good week last week. Like, they lost to Evil Geniuses. They lost to TSM. Like, I know TSM was on a roll and they kicked ass, but, like, how do you lose to EG? And so I feel like coming off of that, they're just going to kind of crumble. And so I feel like they're going to destroy FlyQuest on Monday.
What did the standings look like? Okay, so... Oh, okay. FlyQuest plays... Who do they play? They play Immortals as well.
Yeah, FlyQuest plays Immortals.
Oh my gosh. So how did 6 teams make it? Cloud9's in.
Yeah.
You make it sound like FlyQuest isn't going to be in it in the end. And
yeah,
it's crazy. That's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that FlyQuest crumble like Nate said.
Oh my gosh, dude. Well, dude, it's more like my Elise, but...
Okay, who does TSM play? They play Will TSM go... Chat asked if TSM's going to go 2-0. They play Immortals and Golden Guardians. So
I think... Oh. Alright, they're going to wipe the floor with Golden Guardians no matter what.
That.
But Immortals... If they play like they did last week against Cloud9, where they just go balls to the wall, like shove it to them kind of thing, then I think they win. I think if it's their typical TSM game where it's 45 minutes long and there's like 1 or 2 kills, then no.
Okay, so you favor Immortals coming into it? Who do you favor? More on that line.
In that game?
Yeah, TSM or Immortals?
I'd go TSM.
Okay. Because what you said, it kind of sounded like you said, like, well, it sounds like Immortals.
Well, I think there's a possibility that they could lose, but I don't know. I don't see it happening.
Okay.
So.
Okay, FlyQuest isn't going to do it based on what you said, and then you're picking TSM to win. So TSM's going to have 10 wins by the end of the week?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so TSM sitting at 10-6, FlyQuest 8-8 potentially.
Yeah.
So who is Team Liquid even gonna make the playoffs?
Dude, okay. What are they? Team Liquid sitting 6 and 8 right now.
They're right outside. Everyone who's tied at 4 is in. So Team Liquid is on the outside looking in.
All right, so it's top 6. So FlyQuest could be out. God, dude, I don't know. Like, so much shit could go on this weekend.
That would be wild if FlyQuest doesn't make it. I feel like.
That'd be the biggest choke ever.
Definitely would choke.
But
Fletch doesn't seem to think FlyQuest making the playoffs is a little unrealistic. Not making the playoffs. Sorry.
Fletch, you think they're gonna make it?
I mean, they're in, right, dude. Until last week they were number 2. So,
dude, did you see how they played last week?
They weren't. It wasn't
pretty.
Okay. Oh my god. And then going back, okay. So the last 2 times they won was against CLG and Dignitas.
Mm-hmm.
So it really doesn't, I mean...
That's 2 trash teams.
You really, the further I go back, the less I'm kind of confident the less confident I am in FlyQuest.
Yeah. Okay, so Team Liquid, dude. Because Stratus asked, will Team Liquid make playoffs?
Beat GG, right? Golden Guardians. Yes.
Dude. All right. So I want to say yes, just because the caliber team that they should be good. And I know I keep saying that, but they just should be good, and they're not playing well. They lost to Immortals, which that happens. But they lost to CLG, man. My little group of 5, we could beat CLG if we played them right now. It's hideous. So,
is your group of 5 in chat?
Oh yeah, it's Trey. Well, 2 of them are. But
is that Chris Podwin? Is that Baked C-Pot?
Yeah, that's Baked C-Pot.
Okay. But he said they're going to
okay. All right, so here's how we go. If Team Liquid beats Evil Geniuses, then they're going to get in.
They sweep the week. I mean,
they sweep the week.
That's the real game, you'd think.
Oh, but the big thing is, okay, if they win that game, they're going to win. But next weekend,
who do they play?
They have their very last game, the one that could determine them being in or out.
Cloud9.
They play Cloud9.
Yeah, they don't have. I mean, they play FlyQuest, so. Oh man, dude, FlyQuest is probably just gonna. They could choke it all away.
Dude, I kind of feel like Team Liquid could squeeze into that 6th spot. Just with how the rest of the season looks, if they beat Immortals, if they beat Evil Geniuses tomorrow, if they beat Evil Geniuses tomorrow, I think they get in.
Okay, so you'd say tomorrow is kind of win or lose. That's kind of what we should base our opinions on for the playoffs. That EG game for TL.
Yeah, for Team Liquid, I'd say so.
Okay.
Ooh. All right, so Trey touching on CLG, stepping it up. Dude, so CLG has been playing better. And okay, I wouldn't even say better. Since Poe popped in, they've won 2 games opposed to their 1 game with Crown. But I definitely want to see them do well. There's no way in hell they make playoffs. I don't even think it can work out towards they will. But this weekend, I think they beat Dignitas. But I don't know. I'd love to see them beat C9. That'd be hilarious. But I don't ever see it happening.
I mean, I feel like C9 losing, does that really clearly it's not going to hurt you in the standings. So I feel why not? If you take an L, it's not the worst thing that ever happened. It's a time to reset, refocus.
Yeah, I definitely think they'll C9 is going to be real spicy with their champ select, because now they're at the point where they're comfortable, they're the 1st seed, so they can kind of just try out random shit and see if it'll work. And so okay, if they went Ivern and Rengar, and like basically Ivern makes bushes, Rengar jumps out of the bushes, it's the stupidest shit in the world. But if they start bringing out that stuff, it's going to be hilarious. And if they ever win with it, it's going to be even better. But I can definitely see them losing a cup. Like, I think they'll beat 100 Thieves, but who else do they play this weekend? They play 100 Thieves and CLG. I just don't see them losing to CLG. Unless they pick, like, Teemo top, like, I don't see them getting beat.
Okay. So, is there anything else? Anything else, chat?
Yeah, chat. Any other questions from this weekend?
Because I feel like this is everything else we can jump through somewhat quick. But
pretty much.
Okay. I mean, I'll call it on that. So, end of the week, let's go through it real quick one time. End of the week, you have... Okay. So, Team Liquid will be... Okay. If they win, so if... Best case scenario for Team Liquid, they win, they end up 8-8. 100 Thieves probably loses at least once. They end up 8-8 at best.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who did Immortals play? Immortals play
TSM, FlyQuest.
Okay.
I feel like that FlyQuest Immortals game is important. Ooh.
Okay.
Trey, why has Dig suffered after a hot start? Dude, because Dignitas sucks. Because they're idiots. Because they paid freaking, what's his name? Their top laner. Oh, God. Hold on. I gotta look this up.
I forgot his name.
I know. We talked about it.
Let me see if I can... It's Huni.
Yeah,
right?
but they paid him like 2.3 million. Ooh, I agree with that, Fletch. I think Afro, like, definitely. I feel like this team's almost a retirement team. Like, Froggen and Afro are just, like, not at their peaks anymore. They were great players. They're still probably, like, stupid smart about the game and its history and everything like that. But, come on. Like, they're just so washed up at this point. So, that's... Oh, and then Huni's the one that they... too. Like, Huni got a fat-ass contract. He's been paid to literally just, like, run it down the whole time. Like, there's no point. And so with those three on the team, like, yeah, they're decent, but I don't know, dude. They're just like, they're all there to get their paychecks, and they're all there to just kind of have a fun game, and they don't care too much about winning. So now that they're kind of getting beat, they're like, yeah, we'll try a little bit, but I don't see them doing better.
I mean...
Like, I wouldn't count it against them to lose to CLG.
Okay. But to say, I mean, like, if they turn it, like... Uphill battle, what are they? Are they 5-9? Yeah, so I mean,
yeah, they're 5-9.
Win out to have a chance, but come on, let's be real. There's a reason no one's. It's like no one cares.
Afro
about the
Johnson
worst.
carry.
Like people care about the worst team, but the second worst team, people stop caring about.
You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. I think it's just because like they did have such a good start, and then they've just lost. They lost to Golden Guardians, lost to 100 Thieves, lost to Cloud9, lost to FlyQuest, lost to TL. Like they've just lost and lost. Like they're on a 4 or 5 game losing streak. Like it's hideous. So even like Trey, even if Afro and Johnson carry, like it's like me trying to carry you. Like, you're just too heavy sometimes, and they can't always pull it off.
Okay. So, are we good? Did we get it all?
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's pretty much league.
That's gonna be league. If they come out tomorrow and say, if like they just outright cancel it, that'd be pretty killer. I mean, if you go to ESPN, you can actually see everything they've canceled so far, everything they're doing.
Yeah, I do appreciate that ESPN is putting all this stuff about esports out.
Yeah, I mean, Pokemon, 4 upcoming events have been canceled as of today. Ooh. That's crazy. That's probably, I mean, honestly, canceling a Pokemon event makes way more sense because of the youth in Pokemon players, so...
Oh, for sure.
And then, maybe they're with their grandparents, so boom, like, they're walking targets. Okay.
Dude, it's like Fortnite, I wouldn't be surprised if Fortnite is going to be like, yeah, we knew Corona was coming, so we made sure we didn't schedule anything because we want our youth to be healthy. Because, freaking 8-year-old Timmy over there that's sweating his ass off is like, why aren't they having tournaments? And so they're going to put some shit like that out.
Yeah, honestly, it kind of looks a little skeptical on Fortnite. Now it's like, oh, we don't have any events. Oh, all the events have been canceled.
Oh, yeah.
Odd.
Oh, yeah.
No such thing as a coincidence, Okay. But moving on to Overwatch League. Overwatch League got it the worst so far.
Oh, yeah.
I guess Call of Duty, here's the thing. They're both Blizzard, so I guess they both kind of got it equally bad. But games were supposed to be this weekend. Canceled those events. There's no actual events now. They expect games to resume next weekend, which is supposed to be all online. Which, being all online helps because, if we go back, like, half the teams haven't played. So it's like, hopefully with online, you'll finally get all the teams playing, at least.
True.
Like, 5 teams have yet to play.
See, that's the thing with Overwatch being, set up the way that it is, it's kind of just a shit season. Like, it doesn't matter from this point on because it's not like it's a very, it's a long season and it could pick back up, but it's not like you can just write off the first half of the season and be like, oh, well, we didn't really like how the first half went, so we're just going to say that didn't exist. And then when all this blows over during the summer or whenever that happens, then they're like, okay, now this is the actual tournament. Like, what are those teams that haven't played going to do?
I have no idea. But here's the thing, Blizzard, for the first 2 years of Overwatch League, they just had the Blizzard Arena. So it's like Call of Duty and Overwatch could, in theory, transition, if you decide to have the second half of the season, have every game at Blizzard Arena, like you did for your first couple seasons. Which,
yeah.
It's not, I don't think it's being used for anything, important, anything consistently. And if it is, obviously it'd be super, I feel like that's a super easy fix. If you do, because getting the homestands back on schedule is probably more trouble than it's worth, considering people have already kind of bailed out on that idea. And I don't even like that idea as a whole. It's not, going to see the team's cool, but it's not the ultimate. People still watch. People still are connected to sports they don't go and see live.
Yeah, that's true.
But last thing, they're not doing. They've gotten rid of their mid-season tournament, which they talked about doing this year, and then they got rid of, or they moved their All-Star Weekend to the end of the year. So it's.
Is it normally not at the end of the year?
It was the first year, but then the second year, I guess they switched it to the mid-season.
Trying to make it like the NBA.
Yeah, it's kind of...
Have your superstar weekend break.
I feel like it's just because the first year they really fucked themselves by having 40, every player plays 40 matches, or 40, each team plays 40 games. And so then there was a lot of burnout, so they're like, well, let's reduce the number of games, and then we'll add in a break, and then... This year they were like, oh, well, we'll do these homestands, so I guess players won't play every weekend, but every so often. And then all the shit that this has caused. Well, all the shit that Corona has caused, for real.
Yeah.
But that's it, dude. Overwatch League has kind of gotten the worst so far. Because they had this for tomorrow, and it's canceled completely.
They're not even fun to talk about anymore.
Okay. So on to everyone's favorite rocket car sport.
Rocket car sport. The only place that you can fly and kick balls. Or I guess hit balls.
The only, I don't know, the most precision driving. I don't know, dude. Watching Pro Rocket League is pretty insane just because it's so much finesse.
It is pretty fun to watch, honestly. I think it's kind of shadowed by everything simply because, everybody loves their shooters and stuff like that. But after like starting this podcast and like actually watching it, it's been really entertaining to watch. Like those dudes are insane. They do stuff that's just wild. Like they put hours in this game and you can like really tell.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, okay, the difference between like pro Rocket League and I guess like, I mean, like, okay, if you play Rocket League, if you can fly, you're essentially like, you're pretty good. And then it's like these dudes have mastered that to a whole degree, and then it's like when you actually, because when I play, I'm chasing the ball. I chase the ball, and that's like, and I'm terrible for that. But it's like the coordination and just the like, I guess the idea to think, and like you've played so many hours, you're like, if I hit it, like I kind of see in my head, I need to go up there, hit the ball down in this direction, and the ball will bounce, and I'll have a decent shot. It's crazy.
Yeah. Like the mechanics of it is just nutty. It's insane.
It's not. It's a game that's fun, but I don't like. Landon's pretty good at it, but I don't even get how you can. I don't get how people can be so good.
Dude, just all the boost, stay in the air.
I mean, clearly, some teams, don't know how to be good, and they struggled this year. Specifically,
Knights,
dude. Knights.
Flight.
Knights and Flight. But it's so, like, I don't know. The Rocket League schedule just is so weird. And then I guess I need to figure out exactly how many games everyone's going to play in the end all. I think it's like they play 9. But it's crazy that a team has 1 win and, you're sitting not bad. Like, it's funny.
It's still close. Like you still got a chance to do something.
I mean, they have a lot more L's, but they have they've played 1 more game than Cloud9, and they have 2 more losses than them. So, I mean, it's not looking good. But I guess like as a coach, as like a person on the team, you can always sell your team on the idea like we're not out. Like we still have a chance because you do.
Yeah, true.
No one expects you to, but like I mean, I'm gonna write you off as another L. You got your free dub of the year that you're gonna get.
Yeah. So do you want to go ahead and do some predictions about these games?
Let's go. I mean, I'm predicting Flight to take a fat L. Always.
Flight to take a fat L.
Is Flight playing? Okay, there they are. They play Sonics.
Yeah, from Sonics.
Yeah, they're not beating Sonics. Sonics is on a win streak. They have not. They're like 6. They're on a 6 win streak. It's insane.
Okay.
5 or 6.
So do you think the first game with Sonics and the Cloud9, do you think Sonic's gonna win that?
Okay. Okay, so Sonics is hot. Cloud9 came off a good dub, beating NRG.
Yep.
I like the idea of them winning. I think that's definite. I think when I was looking, I want to say Sonics, this is like probably the best team Sonics is going to play the rest of the year. And I think Cloud9 really needs a dub, so I would pick this one to go 5, just based on like the need for both. Like, we need this win bad. We're going to play hard, but I'll pick Cloud9.
Oh, for sure.
I'll just pick Cloud9.
Dude, I'm the same. I'm the same way. I think Cloud9's going to win it. Like, I know Sonics is hot right now, but last week Cloud9 had that win. And, like, they've been playing really close games, and they finally, like, figured out how to close one. And so as long as they don't go down, like, 3-0 or 2-0 to Sonics, like, I think they win this game.
Okay.
They got the talent for it.
Dude, I feel like Cloud9's they're world champions in Rocket League. They've been world champions before, so it's like to think like if they have the chance to make playoffs, I have to believe like you can make it and then you can make a run.
True.
I think they're gonna be when we get down to the finals, and they'll be more people will pick them than you will expect.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I just realized that there is an S in the Sonic sign.
Yes.
I thought it was just like a little like spitting shuriken thing.
I didn't actually notice that until you just said
you
that.
See? I had no idea.
Right there. I now see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
all right, next game, dude.
Space Station. Do you see that S there? I don't see the
SSG?
Yeah, an SSG. Okay.
No, I don't see anything.
Yeah, I don't see anything there. I think they take.
You know who's winning this game?
Dude.
I will never doubt Space Station Gaming again. I still don't know who the hell they are, and I'm not even going to look into them, but I will never doubt them again. Because I shit on them, and they just laughed, and they destroyed us. Or they destroyed last week, so...
Okay. I mean, Rogue's trash. I think...
Rogue is bad, too.
Cloud9 may be trash overall, but then, if I'm asking just anyone who knows esports organizations, if I was just like, I feel like you just have more belief in Cloud9 than Rogue. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
It almost comes down to just more known.
Isn't Dr. Lupo involved with Rogue, or used to be?
I could not tell you. I
think so. I could be wrong.
I don't feel. I mean, other than Nick Merckx and Ninja. I mean, I don't know if Ninja's still involved with LG, but I don't really keep up with where streamers tie in. So what? What'd you figure out?
Yeah, he's in a multi-year deal with Rogue.
Okay.
He signed it in August of this past year.
So who's repping Space Station? That's the real question. Which streamer's repping Space Station?
You're right. That's the important thing here.
So who is it really? It's Dr. Lupo versus insert streamer here. Streamer affiliated with Space Station Gaming. I don't know how to spell affiliated.
Space Station Gaming streamers.
Oh, and I'm on Bing. Here we go. Space Station Gaming streamers.
They have a Smite guy.
Oh my god.
Oh, Lazarus.
No, Lazarus. Okay, I see that now. No one I'm seeing. I'm like, oh, that.
I don't know anyone else.
Oh, Coach
that's the only name I know.
Oh wow, yeah, that's. There's no one.
God, what is that for? Just streamers. Smite. They got a Smite team. Oh, they got a 6 team.
Okay.
They got a PUBG mobile team.
Yeah. How much do you think it costs to actually fund a PUBG mobile team? Some of these, it makes you wonder what you gotta pay to fund on some of these.
Do you think that the PUBG mobile team guys, do you think they get provided cell phones, top tier Samsung phones, because they are mobile gamers? Dude, I could never tell somebody. Even if I was a PUBG mobile pro, I don't think I'd ever tell anyone.
See, what's the bro? You can't be playing PUBG mobile if you ain't rocking a Galaxy S12. What's the I mean, because kind of
the gaming phone, man.
When okay, when you're watching Call of Duty League or whatever, they're all rocking the same setup to some extent.
Oh yeah.
So what's that stand yo, everyone fucking here's your sponsor kit. Here's your fucking iPhone 12, 11 Pro. This is what we play on. I don't know. And it makes you wonder, do any of them use the controller that they attach to it and shit?
Yeah.
And then it's well, if you do that, is it really even PUBG Mobile? What the fuck? It makes you wonder. So.
I mean, I guess it makes sense why Space Station Gaming we didn't know existed until Rocket League. Because they literally play Smite, Rocket League, Siege, and then PUBG Mobile.
Yeah.
And then they have a guy that plays Smash.
It makes me wonder, okay. What is this, if you wanted to start a team in any esport, what is the esport that is the cheapest to get into and that you can, if I wanted to build my own team and I said, me, you, and whoever else, we're going to be on a team, we may lose every event, we're going, and we're what game? And I wonder, how serious I have to be, or how serious they have to at least take me to where they're okay, you're in.
Dude, I wonder if you have to be serious, or if because esports isn't huge, I wonder if it's just oh, you have the money to do this, we'll let you do it.
Yeah, I mean,
we'd be the D2 school, or the small D1 schools that get paid to get abused by Bama. We'd be like that, but paying to get abused by everyone.
So it makes you wonder, like, okay, but then, like, say you were the 10th team. They're not going to put you in over a team, you know, that potentially has more, like, publicity, in a sense.
That's true. I think if it off balanced, whoever like if it off balanced, like you had to have 10 teams in this, like they wouldn't add you to be the 11th. But like, let's say they have like somebody else that wants to be the 11th, and you're like, hey, I want to do this too, and so you become the 12th. I think they might do that.
Okay, so you would be like, okay, if we get like another real contender that we love in there, like, so say we have all these 10 we have right now, and say all of a sudden Optic wants to be in the North American RLCS, and then our random esports reports team wants to play, and they'll be like, oh, okay, we'll put you in, you know, and we got Optic now, so we need another team, and you're the first one we could find. Okay. So, either way, third way through the predictions, let's get into the Sonics Flight game. I'm picking Sonics.
We have to.
Flight, always. Flight's freaking, I mean, they're out of this world, and apparently they're, I don't know, they're trash.
They're just trash, dude. I want the best for them. I hope they, fly their way to victory, but no, Sonics is just going to run over them.
Okay. So then Cloud9 versus Ghost Gaming.
I think that'll be a good game, dude. I really do think that's going to be a good one. I think it'll be a fun one to watch.
I mean, I think Cloud9 has the potential to win one of the games. I don't know which one. I mean,
yeah. I like
the idea of Cloud9 just coming off a big win, beats the hot team. But then I also like the idea of, like, okay, Cloud9, they beat another, middling team, and they kind of, I don't know, either team they beat, it kind of shows promise for Cloud9.
True. But I think that if Cloud9 beats Sonics, then they're for sure going to beat Ghost Gaming.
Okay.
But if Cloud9 loses to Sonics, Ghost Gaming's just going to destroy them.
Okay, so you think it's either 2-0 or 0-2. In my mind, it's no way it's not 1-1. You lose one, you take one.
You think so?
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm thinking it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, but I feel like, because you have to win one. I don't think anyone else plays twice that is ahead of you in the standings this week, so you have to win one to at least, like, say, hey, we played 2 games, and we at least won one. So, like, then the other teams, like, they have to fight to at least catch up and beat you. Whereas now it's, like, if you lose both,
That's
and it's
true.
like, oh, we just got to win, guys. They fucking lost. Because, like, if you lose both games and then Knights wins or E United wins, suddenly you lose that spot.
Yeah.
So they need to win one just to maintain tiebreakers over Knights and E United, because one of them will get a dub. And I would pick E United to get the dub. Just because.
Hell yeah, dude.
I don't
Fuck Knights.
care for
Knights sucks.
I don't care.
Pittsburgh is awful. I hate them.
Okay. And last game, NRG versus G2. G2 took an L. Took its first L last week, I think, and then NRG took an L to end the week, or took an L on Monday. Or beginning this week.
They got beat by Cloud9 in that really close game, which was a good game to watch.
And I'm picking NRG just off the sheer, like, comeback. Like, okay, we fucking took that. We took an L to some team we shouldn't lose. Like, we're gonna come and play hot against G2.
Okay.
That's my.
I think G2 is gonna run away with it because it's the last game of the night.
Okay, that was kind of another thought I had. Last game of the night.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's the last game of the night. G2's like. It's kind of like the primetime game, like everybody watches the Sunday night game of football. Like everybody watches Monday night football. Everybody watches Thursday night football. Like
league I didn't know about. I've been sleeping.
Exactly. Dude, it's the freaking night game. It's prime time. Like, I think G2 is just going to show up and kick their ass.
Okay. So, in the next week, I think some teams played. I think G2 plays twice and Space Station plays twice, but I don't think anyone else plays twice. So it's like, going into next week, none of the team, like, it's really about the top dogs they're going to play multiple times, but, like, after this week, the bottom of the standings is going to be pretty locked in. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what the storylines look into going into next week to close out the season. Sure. But I think Cloud9 probably going to be looking. I think they're going to keep it going, keep it rolling.
Dude, I hope so. I want to see him do well. I want to see him do well for sure.
Okay, so dang, so we've just hit about an hour for the podcast. I think we got through all of it. We got through Rocket League, Call of Duty, League, everything. Didn't get Corona during the hour that we broadcasted, luckily. Knock on wood. But
true.
Figured out that there's no streamers that I've ever heard of playing for Space Station Gaming.
Space Station Gaming, dude, it's up and coming. If they want to sponsor us, man, I'd join.
Yeah, I guess who the hell are they? But we'll shout you out.
If Pittsburgh Knights wants us to join, I refuse.
Yeah, every time. We're in Dallas, and we're going to be repping a Pittsburgh company. I don't think that's going to go well for our local fans.
Dude, I don't even care if they are a Dallas company. I refuse to support Knights. They suck.
Okay. Let's quickly update, see if any other events have been canceled on ESPN. Maybe they...
Okay. Oh, while you're looking that up...
Okay.
Oh, what?
Okay. It got announced. Wait. Okay. So here was the Pokemon thing, and here it says League of Legends Championship Series, so LCS. A day after announcing games will be played without an audience out of the LCS studio in Santa Monica. He said LCS Commissioner Chris Greeley announced the suspension of the rest of the season for the immediate future and that the LCS Spring Finals will be moved from Texas to the LCS studio.
So no games are going on this weekend?
No games are going on tomorrow.
Oh, come on, man.
That's super disappointing. Right after we finished.
What the? So the only thing that we get to watch this weekend is COD?
No, there's no COD.
We have nothing to watch this weekend.
There's Rocket League. Literally, it's Rocket League.
Rocket League.
I'm about to become an expert Rocket League.
Dude, it's literally from 2 to it's from 2 p.m. and it ends at 8 p.m. tops.
Wow.
That's 6 hours.
That's insane, man. What's crazy is I just happened to decide, I'll refresh this. But that's what I was saying. It's once they started now, once the LEC canceled, I really had a hard time believing that they weren't going to cancel the LCS. Fuck. It sucks just because it's right now, it does kind of make everything easier. It is easier to cover because less is happening. But it kind of takes, I don't know. It kind of takes away some of it.
Our podcast timing was not perfect.
Okay. But either way, I guess we can call it on that. We'll end the stream and the recording. Hope everyone enjoyed. How many new followers we get? We got 2 new followers. 2 new followers.
Oh, yeah. Some talk in the chat. That was nice, dude.
We had a bunch of viewers for a while. So it was pretty good. Overall, great podcast.
For sure, man. For sure.
We talked a lot about League that doesn't even matter anymore because it's all canceled tomorrow. Yeah. Great. Wonderful. Later. Okay.
All right. See you guys.
I'll catch you on Xbox later.